Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk about two pullover jackets that give insulation. That is the Nunatak JMT and the Enlightened equipment Torrid. In many ways they're similar, in many ways they're different, and I just wanted to talk about those things today. All right, let's start by going over some technical details, information about the Enlightened equipment Torrid. I have some notes here. I'll put all of the details right to my left. So to start, $200. You can get it custom, you can get it not custom. The not custom ones are made in Vietnam. The custom ones are made in Minnesota, which is great. This one is a custom one. The custom ones come with a 12-week lead time, so it's a fairly long lead time. The off-the-shelf ones are off the shelf, and what they have in stock, they have in stock. This one that I have is a large tall. I'm about 6'3", 195 pounds, and the large tall fits great. Being a large tall and this one is a 7 denier outer fabric, 7 denier inner fabric. That is the lightest fabric, the most breathable, but also the least weather resistant. So with all of that, this jacket comes in at 9.76 ounces. I'll put the grams up on the screen. And under 10 ounces is really good for a passive, active, insulating layer like this. This has been my jacket that I take mountaineering when I want a synthetic insulating layer. This is the only bit of insulation that I took when I climbed Mount Fuji. It's the jacket that I bring if I think it's going to be wet, if I think I'm going to be wearing it while I'm doing activity. If I think it's going to be worn multiple days in a row. Those are when you want to reach for a synthetic insulating jacket like this. Super similar to the Atom series or the Proton series by Arc'teryx. Those are the pros of synthetic insulation. Like I said, it's great when it's wet. It will keep you warm when it's wet. And what makes you wet? Sweat makes you wet. Precipitation makes you wet. Being out for multiple days without the ability to dry makes you wet. All of those things make you wet. The downsides of synthetic insulating layers are that they're not as compressible. They're a little bit heavier. Those are the main drawbacks. What are some features of the Enlightened equipment Torrid? So there's drawstrings on the hood and on the hem. There is a single kangaroo pocket in the front, and then a 1/3 half zip. I'll put it on, I'll try it on later, but that's really the Torrid. This is the jacket that a lot of thru hikers like. I think for a lot of those pros of a synthetic insulating layer, but it's not the right jacket for every situation, and that's why I have this and the Nunatak. For those that don't know, Nunatak is a brand based out of currently Leadville, Colorado. They've been around since 1999. They are really popular in some circles, especially on Reddit. They make wonderful down pieces. They make awesome dog bivvies. They make very specific ultralight and just like regular backpacking stuff for very specific use cases. Most of their items are stripped down, basic, and serve one purpose incredibly well. And I think the JMT is a great example of that. This jacket, like I said, is sort of new-ish. It used to be, I believe, a similar synthetic insulating jacket similar to the Torrid, but now it's moved to being down. This jacket that I have is a large, extra large. It has 2 additional inches in the sleeves and the bodies. It has overfill in the torso, so that means additional down in the torso to keep my torso warm. It's made out of a 10 denier purple outer, and then this sort of 7 denier black inner. Let's get into the weight, because that's probably what you're wondering. It weighs 252 grams. That's the whole jacket. That's 8.9 ounces, and of those 252 grams, 115 is down. So the warmth to weight is incredibly good, and the down that's in here is 900 fill power, so super duper high quality down. It starts at $320, but you can add stuff and make it more expensive, and for the most part they're all custom. If you're interested, I would email Nunatak and they can sort of set you up. What are some features of the JMT. So one of the ones that I'll highlight immediately is this kangaroo pocket that's actually lined with Alpha Direct. Alpha Direct is the material that I'm wearing. It's a wonderful insulator. It is incredibly hydrophobic. It is great. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with Alpha Direct. It has cinches on the hood and the hem, similar to the Torrid. I'll put it on and show what it's like. But this jacket is sort of marketed as a 2-season jacket. It isn't incredibly warm, and because it's down, that means it's most likely going to be a sort of passive insulating jacket. So you put it on in the morning, you put it on during a break, you put it on when you're getting ready for bed. You don't want to hike in this jacket. Hiking in a down jacket will not be good for the down and probably won't be good for your warmth. So we've got the Nunatak JMT on. I think the color is pretty darn nice, if I do say so myself. Let's talk about the fit. I love how long the arms are. It really fits great as a tall person. The length is also nice. I kind of like my jackets to be a little bit shorter for some of the reasons I said. While it won't be as warm, I don't like having to mess with stuff, especially if I'm wearing a climbing harness or, I don't know, a fanny pack. I just don't want it to be, too long. I love the kangaroo pocket with the Alpha. It's really great. It has some little loops here that you can put on, which are cool. If you want to put on a pair of gloves and make sure that connection is really seamless. If you want to put this under another jacket, I think those are some good reasons for a thumb loop. The hood is nice and insulated. It's actually super duper puffy. The zipper zips all the way up and you can sort of get really comfy and cozy. The drawstrings will help keep everything sort of tight and compact. Yeah, it's a really just like great fitting jacket, especially in this larger, longer size. All right, let's talk about the Enlightened equipment Torrid. So as you can see, a pretty similar fit in terms of like fitting really great for just being a taller person where sometimes clothes don't fit as well. I have, great range of motion. The arms are cut well in terms of length and where the armholes are. The length is definitely, I think, a little bit longer, which is okay, but I think I might prefer this to be about an inch shorter. So, or if there was the option to do a longer arms and not the extra length in the torso, maybe I would go with that. The kangaroo pocket is nice and big and comfortable. There's insulation in the back, there's insulation in the front, so your hands don't get cold. Sometimes a company will only put insulation in the front or in the back, and I think that leaves a little to be desired. A difference I will point out between the two jackets is the cinch right here, which at first thought might be awesome because, you're trapping in the heat. You're trapping in, you're keeping the water out. I don't love it. It makes it harder to take on and off because you sort of have to get that cinch over your hand. Nunatak, in the description, that's optional for their jackets, and they actually tell you you probably don't want this, and I would 100% agree. But the cinch is fine. It's not a deal breaker. Definitely a less expensive jacket, easier to get. You could probably find this used in a lot more common places. It's hard to compare the warmth of these two jackets. I would say they're similar in terms of warmth. If I'd have to say anything, the Nunatak I would say is warmer, but I haven't tested them head to head. But just given how much down is in the Nunatak, it's hard to imagine it's not warmer. Here is the hood on. It's a very similar hood. I would say both have pretty similar hoods. I would say these probably will work with a climbing helmet or a helmet in general, but I don't think they're made for one. It's not like an enormous hood that's going to fit over everything. I think usually like climbing helmet compatible hoods might not have insulation just because it's a lot to sort of manage. But yeah, in a lot of ways, two similar jackets, but again, serving different purposes. A question you might have is why a quarter zip? Why a popover jacket, an anorak, pullover? I don't know, I feel like there's probably a lot of names for a jacket like this. But why do I have 2 of these? And actually I have a few more in different flavors. And, you know, I think everybody has their preferences. The reasons for why I like these jackets are that an insulating layer like this, it's really either going to be on or off. So that front zipper isn't really serving a purpose. If I want to dump heat, I can unzip it a quarter of the way down and dump heat, or more likely, I'll just take it off. And that front zipper isn't doing a whole lot. I also really like the kangaroo pocket for warming my hands, or just like shoving my phone and snacks and a map and a compass, whatever I have in my hands, in there while I'm taking a break so it doesn't fall on the ground and fall off a mountain. If you're wearing a climbing harness, the zipper sort of going all the way down might get uncomfortable or might bunch up, or you sort of just got a lot going on down there. A lot of belay jackets will have a double zipper, so you can zip the top zipper up and then the bottom zipper up, and then you can belay your partner, and you don't have to worry about sort of the harness management in front. Some other great reasons is weight. You know, that zipper doesn't weigh a lot, but you know, you've got half a zipper, that's weight you're saving. And then another reason is if you're layering multiple jackets, having, you know, 3 or 4 zippers can just kind of get annoying. So those are the top reasons why I like these pullover jackets. I'm sure other people have other reasons, but I think that's a pretty good list of reasons, if you have to ask me. So if I was on a budget and I only could get one jacket, I think it would be hard to not say that the Torrid, a synthetic insulating jacket, wouldn't be the most versatile choice. And that's just inherent, in my opinion, in the properties of a synthetic insulating jacket versus a down insulating jacket. Keeps you warm while you're wet. That's a big deal out in the backcountry. That said, I don't necessarily think it's fair to compare these and say one is better than the other. They're really just different. And I think as you're building out your outdoor gear repertoire, your jacket, quiver, whatever that is, there's room and there's reason to have active insulation and passive insulation. Those are 2 different things. You want something warm while you're doing an activity, and probably at different temperatures, right? The jacket that you're gonna wear when you're doing a run and it's the end of the run and you're getting coffee with your friends is different than the jacket you're gonna wear when you're at 20,000 feet and you're taking a break or you're settling down for a bivvy. Like those are just different situations. I think both are really great. I think neither of these jackets is talked about as much as I think they should be talked about. I also think in general, people are maybe afraid of pullovers. There aren't a lot of big brands that do pullover jackets, although Montbell makes a great pullover jacket. But yeah, there aren't a lot of brands that make them, so I don't think they're sort of on people's radars. I would say they're definitely something to consider. They're both small, great brands. If you reach out to them, they'll be able to give you lots of information. So I would say both are great. And yeah, I don't think it's fair to say one is better than the other. In terms of down jackets, I just think the Nunatak down jackets are amazing. The warmth to weight, the warmth to price actually is really good. The quality is amazing. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about them, and sort of cottage, you know, single person, few person outfits like them. So if you like this video, I guess give it a like. I'll do more of these reviews. I like and have a fair amount of gear from small brands like this, and I enjoy sharing that with people, so I'll keep on doing that. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.